we put Jeff in this nice, warm, cozy environment next to a heater.
I feel so nice and cozy right now.
He's here, but he's also on a sunny beach, just soaking it up. Morning, everyone. Welcome to Coffee Talk. I know we promised you last time or the time before that we were only ever going to be outside, but
I was cold. Sorry.
and it's also like we record this on Wednesday, and it's drizzly, and there's a chance of thunder showers, and
this is just nicer.
thought we'd
Thank you.
hang out by the fire. As we come in this morning, and Jeff's huddled under a hood by his.
And Chris is happy because it's the island weather.
I'm in shorts and short sleeves. That's great. I'm ready for
exactly.
a hike. But no, welcome to Coffee Talk. We're glad that you're taking some time to join us as we look back and look forward and make sure that you are connected with the happenings at Lakeview Heights Baptist Church this week. Mm-hmm. We are back in the sermon, and we're talking about fasting. So we didn't make coffee this morning. It actually is just something that didn't occur to me until a few minutes ago, and yet it's another thing. I have, I'll be honest, not to jump to the looking ahead, but we have May Camp this week, and I feel like everything else that's not May Camp related is just getting forgotten. Like Monday morning, I almost always make our kids lunches. I say almost because of Monday morning. And the reason for that is because if an adult doesn't guide our son through the planning a lunch process, you just know it's like either he's not going to eat it all and it's just going to be a mess, or it's just going to be junk, right? And so he's getting ready to leave. He's like, "Okay, Dad, where's my lunch?" And I had totally forgotten. I knew the girls' lunches, and I totally... Son, welcome to being the middle child. And then yesterday, as I was sharing, I was getting ready to come to the office in the morning before a meeting, and I walked into the bathroom after getting dressed. I'm like, why is my hair dry? And I realized I'd totally forgotten to shower.
So May Camp is this big, huge thing. Can you tell us about May Camp before we look back?
It's fine. But I shared...
That's half May Camp and half like...
Right. Priorities apparently are May Camp. And
I get it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But I bring that up because I think that there's two things were kind of going through my mind yesterday afternoon and evening. One of them is this meme. I was scrolling the Instagram, and twice the near identical meme popped up, right? And it's someone laying in bed, like eyes bug-eyed, and it's like, I asked God for more time to pray, and he gave me insomnia.
Yeah.
Right? I'm like, okay. Yeah. And then the other thing, for whatever reason, I was thinking back through all the things I've just been like dropping balls on, and I'm like, every now and then I hear someone say something to the effect of, "Man, I can't believe I just forgot to eat today." Mm-hmm. And I'm like, that has never in my life happened. I might forget to feed my kid, but I have not forgotten to feed me ever in my life. And I might forget to occasionally take a shower, but I never forget to go to scrounge for food or something for myself to eat.
The same boat.
And as I'm in my mind putting those two together, I do think that where those, the Venn diagram of the needing time to pray and the not forgetting to eat, where they overlap is fasting. Which you were definitely walking us through, because Jesus addresses it in the sermon. Yeah. And see, there's a point to this rambling. And so I guess as we talk about not just what have been our experiences with fasting, but how, I guess really the heartbeat is when we talk about fasting, it's not, I'm just going to cut something out, but it really is that making time to really focus on God and making prayer and scripture reading an essential thing. And so for all of us who feel like, or might make excuses for why we don't pray more or read the Bible more or have better spiritual practices, Jesus says, well, here's, or scripture and history teach us that here's one more experience, or here is a way to create intentional time.
Yeah, and so you even talk about like the experiences and opportunities, and yet I also feel like Jeff, what you were leading us through was Jesus, in this whole little section, the context is really, what is your motivation, right? Because this is coming on the heels of the Lord's Prayer in saying, your will be done, your kingdom come, and God, it is about you. And so if I can pray that, and then here's some ways that now I begin to align myself with that, to say, it's not about me. It's not about the meal that I feel like I am entitled to. It's not about, right, like all these things that become our motivation for living and getting through the day. You know, there's times where, you know, maybe not around here, but for sure at home, like I can't go 10 minutes without going like, is it almost time to eat yet? Right? So there is times where I do forget to eat, but it's not at home and it's not near food and it's not when I'm bored, right? Like, and so, and I feel like Jesus is really talking about those motivation factors, but then, like, I love that Jesus goes right to the heart of it, because that's really what like what you just said, that's what fasting is about, is a deeper opportunity to be connected with God. And I love that. I love that Jesus is not just saying, here's a rule. What
do this every time. Or
just you know, fast once a week, and then here's the rule, and then we can all follow it, and then we can all be legalese about it, and just say, did you do your weekly fasting? Did you do your right? And there's something more to it. God is looking for our heart motivation, and I love that.
Yeah, well, I offer up this thing that I want so bad to be with you, you know. One of the authors, Dallas Willard, who I've talked about a lot, talks about feasting on Jesus, you know, fasting from food to feast on Jesus, and I like that. I also like the whole body prayer, you know. Really, you do feel it in your whole body when you're fasting. You know?
Well, and I think that's really something that we don't key in on enough in terms of thinking about fasting. We think about what we're giving up. We don't think about this is a different way of praying. And I think some people listening to you just now and even the sermon go, wait a minute, I need food. Like, that actually is a need. But I think if we look at us culturally, we would go, but do we need that much? Right? Right? Yes, every body needs food, but there is also something we also need, not like, and that expression, feasting on Jesus, is I think so important for us to remember. We do need that. We do need to come to him in prayer. We do need to rely on him. And I think sometimes for me, the few times that fasting has been a practice has been like, oh, it actually causes me to reevaluate my dependence. And am I dependent on me, or am I dependent on, and wrestling with those questions. I think for anybody who kind of goes, whoa, fasting just turns me into somebody I don't want to be, we can remember that in Christian history there's a long tradition of monks fasting by going out alone into the wilderness. Right? And kind of like how Jesus did it, 40 days by himself. And there are ways of doing it where you don't have to kind of be, how to say it nicely, unbearable.
Unbearable.
Right?
No, and that, you know, I actually thank you for saying that, because I did intentionally try to give some practical ways. Like, when you first start a little slowly, because I mean, that was my experience. I was like, I should fast, so I jumped right into like 36 hours, whatever it was, from the evening meal to the morning after a day in between. And I was grumpy, and I was not nice, and I didn't know how to do it. And so after a while, I'm like, if this is supposed to help me be more loving, it's not working. So then I had to come back to it later, after dropping that for a while, to try to work on being more loving to my wife after treating her poorly and being unbearable. This is still a good practice. How do I do, you know, and then that's where, like, start with one meal, right? And get used to it a bit, and learn how to deal with yourself. Go off by yourself,
maybe
like you said, or
whatever. Maybe that's why Jesus was able to, like, you know, push back at Satan because he was just hangry,
Yeah.
right?
I
Like,
do-
no, absolutely not.
Anyway, entirely. Do you remember the old Snickers
just to be
commercials?
clear, you are joking, but yeah.
Sir, I'm listening to you, but in my head it's replaying the old Snickers commercial.
No, I'm not sure.
You're not you when you're hungry. That was the tagline of the whole ad
The
campaign.
Mr.
Yeah.
Bean.
Yeah.
There were
Mr.
so
Bean.
many different ones, right?
Oh.
Like, wasn't there? Yeah. Anyways, and I just in my brain, I'm like, oh, let's write a new ad. It's like a disciple handing Jesus a Snickers. Like, my Jesus, you're not you and you're hungry. I guess.
Yeah.
So I think that with fasting, we've probably heard of stories or had times where we've kind of gone, we're doing this thing, but it's not really fasting the way you were talking about, the way Jesus and his disciples understood it, the way we see examples in Scripture, right? Like going 30 hours without food, but really, or just doing juice, or forgetting a meal,
Yeah.
or just even sometimes. I know we talk about media fast, but that's not really what we're talking about here. And so instead of focusing on ways that we do fasting poorly, I want to keep it positive. What are some of the positive experiences that we've had with fasting, or some of the ways to, like you talked about some practical things that you can do in the sermon, like in here and all that, like here's some things we can do to help us fast, but what are some of the good experiences that we've had with fasting?
So it's a process. It takes a while. When I first jumped into fasting, it's probably years and years ago, because my mom had done it for a while. She would fast on Mondays, and so I'm like, well, okay, I'll fast on Mondays. So I went from Sunday after dinner to Tuesday morning breakfast, which is quite a long fast, and it was awful. I was not happy. I was not kind, and my wife was kind of like, "Is this supposed to be helping you with anything? Because it sure doesn't seem to be." And so
it's not helping your relationship.
it's not
is what
making
I'm
me
hearing.
loving, So I
Yeah.
was like, I better rethink this. So then I had to go back and, I stopped that, and I realized I was jumping in way too quick. I got to start with a meal and get used to it, and so then I started doing that, and then eventually 2 meals, and to tell you the truth, I'm still in that process where I'm starting to see so many more benefits, but it took a while. And one of the first benefits was when you get to that next meal, you're just so thankful for it. Like, oh, this is so great. Thank you, Lord, that I can actually eat now. But now I'm starting to see more of the benefit of feasting on Jesus. Like God, I'm preparing for this time. What are we going to talk about this time? Or how am I going to help me pray with my body rather than be upset with my body, how I feel. And I'm starting to feel that way.
I'd love to make two things explicit in kind of what you're talking about, and then get to Kevin's answers for that question. Like, I'm hearing that skipping a meal or whatever, that there's a difference between dieting and fasting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And just to be really clear, like, as we kind of intro this talking about what we forget. If you forget lunch, or you just decide I'm going to cut out lunches, or I'm going to cut out dinner, that might be fine for dieting, and there might be some health benefits, but fasting is something different.
Right.
And part of it is, as you talk about the process of it, right? How am I going to do this so I'm still a kind, loving, Jesus-like person?
Right.
Speaks to the process and the preparation and the intentionality of it.
Yes.
And I think it's worthwhile just to make clear of, that is sort of the undercurrent, or the reading between the lines of everything you're saying, and just to kind of bring that out, be really clear on it. Kevin, did you want to?
Well, I think the second thing Jeff just really pointed out too is when you get to that meal, then it actually even enhances that sense of thanksgiving. To say, God, you have given me food. This is not something that I pulled together with my own hands. Yes, I pulled it together from the grocery store, so therefore I harvested it.
Yeah.
That's not the point. The point is also to get to that point and say, God, everything that I have comes from you, including my life, including my motivation, and all these things that I can give thanks for as I sit at this meal. But one thing that we in my teens especially, as a church, we would actually fast in more of a corporate way. So you're talking more of an individual preparation.
Yeah.
As a church, we would actually do some fasting as well too, and it was either because there was a decision coming and we wanted to just call each other to that, but also to say, if we're going to be fasting, let's pick a day, and anybody that wants to can, anybody that doesn't want to, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that, but we're going to call people to come and fast, not come in, to continue their day in that sense of I will take time and energy to focus on what motivates me, and it should be, like you said, feasting on Christ and hearing from him, and to know that other people are doing it together with you. It actually has like this unifying thing behind it, and to feel like, hey, I'm not in this alone, and we're actually praying together, so that when we say our Father in heaven, hallowed be your name. It's
So good.
it's not my name, right?
Yeah.
So I love that idea as well too, of doing it together as a group.
Yeah, really good. Yeah, I mean, there's so much to this topic, and there's books, there's podcasts, if you're interested in learning more, let me know. I know some of those resources, and I'm sure we together know more of those resources. But we'd love to talk more and help you in this practice that yeah, it's hard, but it's like any good thing, that if you dedicate time and energy to it, there's something really beautiful about it, and it's revealing, and it's just it's a great practice that God has given us to grow with him. So
And yeah, and it's a good thing to do with people. I think is the other side, just to drive that home. And if you are, I can't imagine what it would be like trying to prepare meals for my family while fasting.
yeah.
Actually, I've seen that. I've seen that
Yeah.
done, and sometimes it makes it harder, and it also enhances that sense of God, my motivation is for you.
Yeah.
Especially as I really would love to just snack on this.
Yeah.
Actually, it's a wonderful opportunity.
Yeah.
Well, as you go from here, maybe you're considering fasting for the future. Maybe you're this is just brought up poor experiences, and but it's worth revisiting if your only experiences with fasting have been poor ones. We're going to look ahead because there's things coming up that are worth talking about. I know Mother's Day is behind us. Hopefully you had some time to celebrate.
So we'll never celebrate them
That's
again.
right, we're done.
Get behind me, Satan.
No more. Coming up though, I'm going to have to throw this to you guys because my brain's like, May Camp.
Tell us about May Camp first.
Well, sure.
Get up your head.
We have like 234 youth and youth leaders who will be at Green Bay this weekend.
Yeah.
And so
From all over BC.
From all over BC.
So cool.
I mean, it's like, yeah. It is a really good group of individuals. We got an incredible, both in terms of character and volume of people coming from Prince George. There's a good group from the Lower Mainland, and then there's, those of us from the Okanagan holding strong. And it's just fun. It's a fun week to be together, to connect with. I say this often, but I think one of my biggest joys in May Camp is not only the time we get with our youth, but the time I get with other youth leaders. We have our morning meetings, kind of checking in, how did the night go, who was on the night shift, which youth do we have to keep an eye on, right, what are some of the issues we can be praying about, but just to sit in a circle with all of these people who dedicate so much of their weeks to building into teenagers, it's a really fun thing, and it's a real motivating factor in that, and then Monday afternoon we go home and sleep, and that's a good thing too. I don't want to quite say that we fast from sleep during May camp, 'cause that's not quite right.
But you lack some sleep.
But we do have some, and
Yeah.
then, so, I say all that partly to also say, there's not Youth Monday night. Most of our youth are gonna be at main camp, which is a really cool thing too. And all of them are gonna be sleeping Monday night.
Yeah.
So, that's this weekend. It's every May long weekend, and it's something we look forward to all year, and, glad it's here.
Yeah, so be praying for Chris and the youth from across BC.
Yeah, and our speaker Matt, who's bringing a word for our youth and our youth leaders and all of us. Yeah, I'm looking forward to what he's going to share.
Oh, good.
And then there's,
Yeah.
I know there's stuff happening. I think each of you had an announcement, so are we just moving down the line, Jeff?
Sure.
Jeff?
and me.
So related to youth, we have 3 grads that we're celebrating this season, but we're going to specifically mention them the week after this. And you have an opportunity to speak into their lives. You have an opportunity to speak in their lives just by being a part of our congregation, of course. But specifically, Chris bought each one of them a devotional from our youth ministry, and you can write a little note in there. I would really encourage you to, even if you just say congratulations, or if you have a Bible verse that's been special to you that you just want to give to them, or that you have one that's specific to them. There's 3 of them. You can grab each one and write something in it. That'll be available for you on Sunday.
I won't be here, but we'll make sure that they're out on the counter. And it was really fun to see people signing this last Sunday. And just for the history, we always give devotionals. Some years I've remembered to invite people to sign them, but usually just the day we hand them out, which makes it awkward. And this year I wanted to expand that and give people a greater opportunity. And so this isn't this is a little different than we've often done, but it's not like it's a one-off or the
It's
only
great.
time we've done it.
It's a really good idea, and we each have an opportunity to just share something. So, kind of like signing a yearbook, but this is a little bit more intentional. So,
And then June's a month.
Yeah, June is upon us, and so
not yet. Close. It's coming.
You jump into the
you're
long
jumping
weekend.
ahead.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So every Sunday in June, we endeavor to just have an opportunity to celebrate the place that we live and love the Okanagan. And so what we do is, yes, we could do it all kind of inside. We don't want to do that. We want to head down to the nut farm and gather together as a community. So following the service every Sunday in June, we're going to just have an open time of those who are able and available go down to the nut farm and just hang out and just spend some time together. Bring a lunch, bring your own lunch, bring a lawn chair, bring activities if you would like, and just an opportunity just to be together. Sometimes we always I'd love to have you over for a barbecue or for this is kind of like an easy step into that. In just let's just get everybody together. It's at kind of that central location. If there's rain or stuff like that, then yes, we will cancel it or just let those come who want to come and sit in the rain and under the tables, under the big giant tree.
Well, there's the shelter now.
There's a shelter now, yeah.
So
it's
we'll be
not
covered.
so bad, but a chance just to be together and just to celebrate all those things. So yeah,
Looking forward to that. Well, thanks for spending some time with us this week. I know the upcoming weekend often feels like the unofficial start of summer. Whether you're freezing cold like some people we know, or you're ready to dive
It's not quite
into
summer
it.
yet, so
We look forward to spending time with you. And I will have to catch you the week after, but these guys will be here on Sunday, and we'll connect real soon.